This is the High Voltage Business Builders Podcast, daily intelligence for serious e-commerce portfolio builders across Amazon, TikTok Shop, Shopify, Walmart, and every channel that moves the needle. Neil Twa and his Voltage team all day, every day, since 2012. Let's get into it.
One high-ticket SKU with a $12 net profit per unit minimum is worth more than 10 low-margin products bleeding you dry. So why are most operators still stacking cheap, commoditized products and wondering why their margins look like a bad EKG? Selling high-ticket items is not about being fancy. It's about math. Fewer units to move, more dollars per sale, less storage pressure, better return on your Amazon ad spend. Today, I am breaking down how to actually source luxury and high-end products for your e-commerce brand, what the traps are, and the 3 moves that separate operators who win in premium categories from the ones who just end up with expensive inventory they cannot move. Look, the instinct most operators have when they hear luxury sourcing is to immediately think it is not for them. Too much capital, too niche, too complicated. And yeah, I get it. When you are starting out or sitting at $10,000 to $30,000 a month in revenue, buying into a high-ticket product line feels like a big swing. But here is what I actually see across our 30-brand portfolio and what I have watched play out in this market for over 13 years. The operators who are stuck fighting margin compression are almost always the ones chasing volume on low-cost products. They think more units equals more money. It does not. It equals more complexity, more storage fees, more Amazon ad spend to defend a $19 listing against 200 competitors from the same factory. The math on a high-ticket item is genuinely different. If your product sells for $150 and you have a 20% EBITDA margin, you are clearing $30 per unit. That is our target frame, by the way, out of almost automated income with FBA. $12 net per unit minimum, 20% EBITDA is the goal. On a $19 product, you are fighting for $2. On a $150 product, that math is achievable without heroics. Here is the part people miss on the sourcing side. Luxury and premium products are not always what you think. They do not have to be designer labels or restricted brand categories. Premium can mean better materials, a tighter quality story, superior packaging, and a higher perceived value positioning. You are not buying Chanel. You are sourcing something that a buyer will pay $120 for instead of $35 because it is genuinely better and presented that way. The challenge? Supplier relationships at this tier take longer to build. Minimum order quantities can be higher, and you absolutely cannot fake quality in a premium category. Returns will wreck you faster than any competitor will. So the discipline here is real, but the margin reward is also real. That is the honest trade. I want to walk you through the pattern I see play out, because this is not theoretical. We had an operator come into our community who was running a home goods brand. Solid execution, decent reviews, but completely stuck around $15,000 a month in revenue. The product was a kitchen item in the $22 to $28 price range. Competitive. Not horrible, but not great. Net margin was hovering around 8%. Every time they tried to run Amazon ads to grow, the return on ad spend barely broke even. We looked at the category data and saw that the premium version of that same product, better materials, a brand story around craftsmanship, and a price point of $79 to $89, had real demand and nowhere near the competitive density. The factory that made their $22 version also had a higher grade line. Same supplier, different spec sheet. They sourced a small test run of the premium SKU. 200 units, put real money into the photography and listing, positioned it as the professional grade version, not the cheap version's older brother, a separate brand identity entirely. First 60 days, the $22 product outsold it on unit count, obviously, but the $79 SKU was generating more total margin on a fraction of the units. By month 4, the premium SKU had better reviews because the product was genuinely better, and the Amazon ads cost per acquisition was lower because conversion rate on a well-positioned premium listing is higher than a commoditized one. That is the insight. Premium buyers decide faster when the listing earns the price. They are not bargain shopping. You stop competing on price and start competing on trust. The operator did not abandon the original SKU overnight, but they knew where the brand was going, and that direction had a real exit story attached to it. Premium brands with margin and repeat buyers are what acquirers actually want.
While saving 17 hours a week doing it, that's exactly what we built Voltage Business Builders for. It combines the power of experience and being in the right room with the power of AI to compress time and increase your business profits. More than AI for the sake of using AI. It's a room full of senior sellers with over 15 years in e-com, showing you the ropes of AI, business building, and creating generational wealth through business. Visit VoltageDM.com to see what's inside the Voltage Business Builders room.
All right, 3 moves. These work whether you're at $5,000 a month or $500,000 a month. Move 1. Audit your current catalog for premium upgrade potential. I mean this literally. Go look at your top SKUs and ask, does a higher spec version of this product exist? Does a supplier I already work with make it? What would the price point need to be to hit 20% EBITDA? If the answer is yes, and the margin math works, you have a sourcing conversation to start. Not a new supplier search, a conversation with someone you already trust. That is the low-risk path into premium. Move 2. Build the brand story before you list the product. This one is boring. It is also where most operators fail on premium launches. The listing has to earn the price. Better photography, yes, but also a brand narrative. Why does this product cost more? What is the material story? What is the craftsmanship angle? Buyers in premium categories are not lazy. They read, they compare. If your listing looks like a generic product with a high price tag, you will get crushed on returns and you will earn every 1-star review you get. Seriously, the listing has to carry the price. Move 3. Start small and protect your IDQ score. I talk about this in the book. Do not touch a new listing for 7 to 21 days after launch. Let Amazon's algorithm read the organic signals. A premium SKU with a test run of 150 to 300 units, a clean listing, and disciplined Amazon ad spend in the first 30 days will tell you everything you need to know. If it converts, you scale. If it does not, you have not bet the house. Small test, real data, then commit. That is the almost automated income approach. Patient, systematic, not a gamble. If any of this hit close to home, here is the real problem underneath it. Sourcing premium products sounds like a brand decision, but the operators who actually pull it off are the ones who have clear visibility into their numbers before they make the move. Margin by SKU, ad spend by product, inventory cost per unit. Without that picture, you are guessing, and guessing on a $5,000 to $10,000 inventory buy in a premium category is a fast way to get hurt. Most sellers are drowning in tabs, ads, listings, inventory, pricing, reviews. AI looks like the easy fix, but bad data in means bad calls out. You do not save time. You make expensive mistakes faster. That is not freedom. That is chaos with nobody steering. Here's what works. Caiman Data pulls your live Amazon numbers into one clear picture. Ads, listings, sales, inventory. You see what is working and what is costing you money. Not another spreadsheet that eats your week. You stay in charge. You see the reason before you say yes. Nothing runs without your approval. You are the CEO of this brand. Caiman Data just makes sure you are looking at the right numbers when you make the call. That level of review used to eat hours every week. Caiman Data cuts that down with one live connection to your account. So instead of spending your Sunday morning buried in reports, you can actually be present for what matters. That is how Voltage helps sellers save time, protect margin, and grow without losing control. 13 years of operator-led experience behind every recommendation we make. Head to VoltageDM.com to learn more. We will see you back here tomorrow. Until then, stay high voltage.